Hey everybody, how's it going tonight? Hope everyone's doing well. So I came across a pretty cool tool the other day, and this is something that I think a lot of people don't really use that much, and it's called variation control. Now, it does have a lot of similarities with the layer control, but I actually prefer the variation control since I do import a lot of models. And what this one effectively lets you do is it lets a certain, I guess, group of objects share the same space, and you can only have one active at the same time. In some way, it's kind of like LODs, I guess, level of details, where you might have the same, I guess, object, but this lets you put different materials on it. You can, if you're doing a house, like you can add an addition to it, and then you can drag that in. So this is going to be a pretty basic tutorial, I guess. I'm just going to go through how to set up a really quick animation and sort of how it works. The reason why this is going to be simple is because I actually did find out a couple of really cool tricks that you can use with variation control, but I didn't want to make the video too long. So in this video, I'm just going to kind of get people that are not aware of it just kind of up to speed. Because as I said, this is something that I just learned, but I just think that it is such a cool kind of an addition because as I said, like you can kind of do the same stuff with layer control, but I find that layers can get a lot more confusing. If you have to do something like 50 times, then having 50 layers clicking on and off can be difficult, but the variation control kind of condenses that down a little bit. And so instead of having a whole layer just for one object, then you'll have, you can just move that object around and then all of its variations will change. So I'm going to be using Sketchup for this one because I wanted to use just a quick model that I had made for a past project. It was just a background. It was just a background building, so it's nothing special. But I do think that it'll work for this. So I had thrown it up a while back on the 3D warehouse. If you type in Halifax Crystal Makers, I think, then it should come up. Or you can just look up my Luminous Labs warehouse account. So yeah, as I said, this is just a background building, but it'll serve its purpose here very well. So I'm just going to twist that so it's a little straighter. And yeah, something like that should work. So that's pretty much, actually I'm going to spin this around completely. Oops. All right, good enough. So I will save that now so that we can bring it into Lumion. Now for this, I actually don't recommend that you use the Livesync. I find it better just to save the Sketchup file. And that's because you're going to have to, like for this to work, you actually just keep uploading the same object. Like if you want 4 different variations, you'll upload it 4 times. Hopefully in the future, they're going to have a better way of kind of streamlining that so you can just make a copy. Maybe there is. I couldn't find it, but I'll kind of show you what I mean here. So we'll just call this building. Now we'll come back into Lumion. So I'm just going to use the example scene here without the building there, just so that like the Van Manen one, just because I kind of wanted to have a little more of a background. I didn't want to just put it in that plain field. Figured we could spice it up a little bit. So we're going to import it. We go to desktop. Now we just get that building. So I'm going to call this building like 1 because I said we're going to have to do that a couple of times. So yeah, we'll just drop this here and twist it. I don't know how that got messed up because I thought I straightened it out a little more in SketchUp, but that's fine. Yeah, that'll work for that. So we'll just put some materials on it for now. Put some glass. Like I said, we're not going to go too crazy with this, but there was a couple things I wanted to change. So wood, maybe we'll just make this like, yeah, that'll work for now. Can I raise this up a little bit? Oh, we don't need to do that. It's yeah, it's not perfect, but as I said, like it'll kind of serve its purpose pretty well. So first things first, I'm going to just record like a quick clip. And for this one, I wouldn't even really bother putting in a style or anything. You don't really need to, just for what we're doing here. So maybe we'll like do this and just go like here. And if we just hit play, yeah, that's good enough. I did need to make a little animation, but it doesn't have to be anything. Just I like to have it kind of moving around a little bit. So what we're going to do is we're going to hop back into the object mode, and then we're going to select this. Now, a lot of you might have seen this before, but haven't really clicked it. So if you actually click import new variation right here, and then you go to building again, and we're going to call this building 2, then we'll have kind of like a duplicate of it. So if we come in here now and we change this, because again, so it'll always kind of look the same when you do it, but now if I change this material, then it will it'll be completely different. So yeah, see it, and like we'll change up a couple of them just so they look a little bit different. And as I said, this is like the most basic thing that you can kind of do with this. But the thing that I kind of wanted to show you guys in future videos has to do with 3D grass. So it was a really cool trick that I learned, and I think that people are really going to like that. So, bricks. Yeah, we'll make this one bricks, and we'll import a new variation, building. Call this like 3. I think we'll do 4, just because I want to flip through it a couple of times. This one can we put some weird siding on it or something? Oh, I'm not sure what happened there. That's really weird. Oh, is that? Oh, that must be a billboard material. Okay, well I'm I'm on, like, yeah, I don't know what that was then. That was the roofing. It's interesting. Maybe that's just bugged out, but yeah, it had a billboard effect on it where it just has to always face the camera. So that was a little bit weird. Let's also change this one. We can change the color up a little bit. So like, let's make this just like blue or something like that. We'll copy this. And we'll slap these on here. And we'll change this glass to the correct. Actually, let's make it green. And we'll also make this like a weird color too, just so that we can tell what we're doing. Here it is. All right, yeah. Now I think we'll just do one more, and then we'll leave it as like the default, and then that should be good enough, I think, to kind of get the point across. All right, yeah, so it just can be a little bit weird when you're flipping back and forth in this view. So this one, like I said, I'll just change these colors up a little. Oh, no, actually, if we just do like that, that's perfect. Okay, so if we click in object mode, I find if you do it in material mode, it can get a little weird. So if we're flipping through here, now we have these 4 variations. Now, what's kind of cool about this is that you don't necessarily have to use like the same object. Like I think maybe I'll just show a quick example of this. If I just find, doesn't have to be... yeah, I think I can just pull something like this in. This is just a thing that I bought from Turbo Squid. So let's like size this up. Now, I actually haven't tested this, so I'm going to see if I scale this up, let's see if that actually changes the other like the buildings, because as I said, that's not something that I did. Okay, so it does do that. So I don't recommend that you do that then. Yeah, sorry. I figured that we should investigate that, but regardless, if you don't, you shouldn't mess with the scale and the rotation. Those will always kind of affect it, because as I mentioned, it's like using the same origin point. But if you could use multiple buildings. It doesn't necessarily have to be like a copy of itself. Maybe if you're a company that has like 4 different variations of homes, and you want to show like what they look like on a particular lot, then you can basically have those 4 ready to go, upload them, and then you can, in your video, you can flip through them, which is what I'm going to show you how to do right now, and it's why we needed the animation. So yeah, we won't mess around with the windows or anything too much more. So maybe we can throw a little something on just to make it look a little bit better. And then I probably won't render this thing out. I'll just show you guys kind of how it works, because there's nothing special about this. So we're going to add the effect. Now, I believe it's under object. Yeah, so it's under variation control right here. I feel like, I personally have just kind of got it confused with layer visibility before. I kind of thought they were the same thing. But that does not appear to be the case. So I'm going to go right back to the beginning. And where it says current variation here, now you have to hit edit, and what is the one that we need here? It's right here. So you just got to find the origin point. So these must have been some other models that got uploaded, but we don't want those ones. We want this one here, so it gets highlighted, and we hit OK. So yeah, and then so here you have the current variation. So if we kind of flip through it, you can see that it's changing, and we can see like the bookcase at the end there, but I don't recommend that. Or if we go to 5, yeah, we don't want that though. So we'll hit this, make a keyframe here, and then I think if we go like here, now mind you, I might kind of be butchering this. Like I found it was kind of weird that I have to like I just having trouble like doing this where it kind of like sticks. So it's like if I remove the keyframe and then, so how did I? Yeah, and I think that that's good now. Yeah, so then that's how it's done. So then I'll go back up here, create the keyframe. Yeah, so like I said, I kind of messed that up a couple of times, but yeah. And then for the last one, we'll put it here, create a keyframe, and go there. So yeah, I think what I kind of mess up is I always try and set the current variation first. Just make the keyframe and then adjust it as you need. So yeah, if we just, as I said, I'm not going to render this out just because it's like, I feel like that will, it just take too much time kind of on the stream, but you'll get the point. So maybe I will make this a little bit longer at the clip. Make this like 30 seconds. And that shouldn't affect anything. So if we just let this go through, like it might, hopefully it's like not choppy or anything, but you kind of get the point. So when it hits here, then it's going to change the variation. And, if people want to play around with this, please comment below kind of what your favorite thing is to do with this, because this is a pretty new concept to me. And so, while we're not doing anything too crazy in this video, there is quite a few things that I kind of came up with that I think can, can kind of work as little like Lumion hacks using this. I know that of like a handful of tricks already that will definitely speed up render times. So I'm pretty excited to show you guys that, and I'm hopefully going to be releasing that video in the next couple of days. Yeah, I just really wanted to go through this so that if anyone is confused while I'm doing that video, I can kind of send them back here just to have a better idea of what we're talking about. But yeah, no, I thought, that was a pretty cool little tool. It's something that I find that, like, I don't think I've ever seen someone use that in a render. Maybe they were using it, I just didn't know. The only time I can even really think of a Lumion video that I think someone might have used it is I think it was in like the Lumion 9 or 10 release trailer, where they're flipping through different materials in one of the example homes. But just the way that it was transitioning, I think that was something that was done outside of Lumion. I could be wrong about that. Cinematics in Lumion is something that I'm not very good with, as people might have noticed just from how I mess up keyframes and stuff. It's something that I'm kind of trying to learn right now, but I mostly just focused on stills when I was learning. So I have a lot of cool tricks for doing stills, but not as many for doing the cinematics. Anyways, guys, I'm going to leave that here. Thanks for stopping by today. If this is your first time coming by the channel or you're not subscribed already, I'd really appreciate it if you hit that button and maybe like the video. If you have any comments about future videos that I should make, or even just comments about this one, I'd really appreciate it if you left your thoughts below the video. I'm going to leave it there, though. Have a great night, guys, and take it easy. Bye.